Controlled opposition is a maneuver where one entity controls both sides of an argument. An example would be our political system. The United States is a democracy constructed with a two-party system, that being the Democrats and the Republicans. These two parties are diametrically opposed, and as such, fight for control of our government through elections. Both parties have a broad agenda, which captures the imagination of our populace depending on our beliefs. In other words, it gives us the opportunity to take sides. What we don't realize is at the very top, there's only one side. They use these two controlled paradigms to push their agenda, unbeknownst to the public at large. We're thinking red versus blue, and they love it. For example, the homosexual agenda would be considered liberal, thus belonging to the Democrats. You'll hear the Republicans rail against it, and for the most part, its constituents totally against it. But the top of the pyramid, the people who pull the strings on this democracy, are actually pushing it. It's the so-called shadow government that Trump constantly spoke of, but never really did anything to affect. This so-called shadow government, or bloodline, or Illuminati, or whatever you call them, are the masterminds of this controlled opposition. The Pied Piper, Donald Trump, is a great example of controlled opposition. Trump was put in place for several reasons, but I'm only going to deal with his role as controlled opposition. Trump ran on a platform that was far right and ultra conservative. He purportedly stood for church, pro-life, anti-homosexual, among other right-wing hot-button topics, most of which I too stand for. But that's not the point. The point is, he controlled those who felt like he felt. He became the poster boy for all the far-right groups. So obviously, whoever controlled him, by proxy, controlled them. These shadow groups can't control these far-right militia. They can't persuade these groups without a gimmick. In steps Trump. He was the gimmick. Through him, they could control the far right. The attack on Washington, D.C. was predictive programming at its best. The idea was to paint these far-right people as nuts, as terrorists, to get the rest of the country to marginalize these individuals, so when they come for your guns, they have the majority of the country in their back pocket. You have to understand, these people are brilliant and also diabolical. They create these hot button topics like racism, abortion, homosexuality, gun control, etc., and push them at the appropriate time to get us all riled up. They tried the same thing with the brother George Floyd. You saw how the media played that up. They were trying to get us, black people, to declare war on the police. Luckily, through the devices of the Most High, it didn't work. Black Lives Matter, Antifa, the Proud Boys, all these groups are created by this shadow group as controlled opposition. Do not be fooled. Listen, there's an agenda afoot. These shadow groups are Satanists, and as such, are pushing a satanic agenda designed to kill a lot of people and poison the rest with their New Age religion, their transhumanism, their gay rights, abortion or child sacrifice, and most importantly, destroying any belief in the Most High. Their technology is satanic. Their science and medicine is satanic. And their pure white Jesus is satanic. They're trying to create the days of Noah right before our very eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, over the next few months, years, you're about to witness things you'd never dreamed were possible. Heinous things. Awful things. I'm not a doomsday predictor, nor am I saying the sky is falling. But what I am saying is, it wouldn't hurt to be prepared for both. Peace.